Hello and welcome to our market intelligence class. I'm excited as always to bring you a topic which is not new at all, but most of us tend to not apply market intelligence as entrepreneurs, and so we thought it's important today to sit and unpack market intelligence and why it is important for an entrepreneur. We are obviously going to be specifically speaking to an African entrepreneur, but you could be in a developing country somewhere else outside of Africa, and you might find this topic very, very useful to you. So might I say, it doesn't matter which industry you're operating in as an entrepreneur today, or whether or not you have even started your business, this topic will relate to you fully. So let's take time to appreciate what it is that we'll be learning today. So at a high level, we'll be learning market intelligence as a concept, what it means, so that we are all on the same page, same understanding about what it is and perhaps even what it is not. We'll also do a breakdown of the different aspects of market intelligence with clear examples so that we can relate to what these different aspects are as an entrepreneur today, for you, how it relates to you or your business. We'll also be looking at the benefits of market intelligence, how it can benefit you, like I said, and the dangers of market intelligence. What could go wrong with you or your business if you do not do market intelligence? So today we'll be unpacking that, and I hope that you will find it very, very useful.
Build yourself. Immerse yourself in practical knowledge. Learn from the doers. And get doing with Serala Entrepreneurship College.
Before I introduce my guest, I just want to have a little word with you who's watching, who I believe you are either an entrepreneur who's already practicing or you are planning to go into entrepreneurship. My brother or my sister, when I say we, I'm referring to us as African entrepreneurs. We tend to not ever graduate from the concept of hustler and forever trying. We look at our businesses as informal. Even if somebody has worked before and has understood the formal way of running a business, keeping records, planning for meetings, reviewing performance, as well as setting goals. As soon as we hop into entrepreneurship, all of that formality goes away. All of that which we know as the right way of doing business, we throw out the window. I'm talking to even most of us who are educated. You may have your diploma, your degree, your master's, even a doctorate. When you go into entrepreneurship, it's like suddenly we want to take entrepreneurship as the informal sector. So our businesses never really graduate from infancy. We never really get to that point where we can employ sustainably and really run this business as a going concern. So I'm cautioning us as entrepreneurs that this entrepreneurship endeavor that we've gone into, this journey of entrepreneurship, is a serious thing. It's serious business. You are depending on it. I'm sure your family is depending on it. Your clients are depending on your business. Your employees are depending on your business. Suppliers see us as their source of income. So there are a lot of people who are affected in the value chain by our businesses. That is why it's important that we look at our businesses as a serious thing and we run them in a formal way. So as we're discussing today's topics, please don't start thinking, I would be doing that, or I would apply those concepts if I was working for Vodacom, I was working for Orange. If I'm running my own hair salon, why should I be bothered by these aspects of market intelligence? So please, I'm pouring my heart out so we can meet each other at the point of the imperative for market intelligence. With that said, I'm excited to welcome you, Mr. Isaac Kosiaring. Mr. Isaac Kosiaring is a market intelligence expert. I call him the ICU doctor because normally he's called on when businesses are on the brink of collapse. And I'm talking about entrepreneurial ventures, to come in and try to resuscitate them and see whether or not, from looking at a market intel perspective, they are even worth saving or somebody should just cut their losses and close down. So I feel, Kosiaring, that we normally call you when it's too late. I hope that today, because we have called you, most of our entrepreneurs who are following, most of our prospective entrepreneurs, those who are planning to go into entrepreneurship, will benefit a great deal from our discussion today. I am your student. I will chip in wherever I can, but please, I welcome you.
Thank you so much.
Studio.
Thank you so much. I feel privileged and honored today to be part of this masterclass. Market intelligence understanding is actually close to my heart.
I know that.
Market intelligence is actually real-time actionable data about your audience,
Right.
potential customers, and your competition. I like to define it this way. It helps you anticipate what lies ahead.
Right.
It involves key concepts like market share, market size, market opportunities. We are living in ever-changing market fluctuations where one needs to understand their position in the market.
Right.
So market understanding is of paramount importance. It's pivotal now. It's very critical that each and every business, whether it's a small business enterprise, whether you're willing to start getting into business as an entrepreneur, this is very important for you. And I hope that you will learn and understand today that you need to get into market intelligence and also become your own market intelligence expert.
Right.
Yes.
Because as an entrepreneur, I need to know what's going on in my market. So I have to, by the end of this class, embark on being an expert. I really love that.
Yeah, there's no
So
other...
I just wanted to say something before you move on, because you said something and I got me thinking. Market intelligence, then it's not about just a startup. Somebody could be running an existing business and this is an ongoing thing you need to plug.
It is actually most important for those businesses that are already running because they are now in the midst of stiff competition. A lot of companies that are coming up, you find that they are competing with the same products in the same market. So this is very important for you to understand what are the consumers saying about you out there. Are you adding value to them? Are you serving an underlying need? Or what are you serving there? Or you're just existing? If you're just existing, you're just like a blind person walking. You see?
Yeah.
So it's very important that that one may have an understanding on what market intelligence is. Because if someone has got that, that means then they will have their business, they can compete, they can strategize, they can plan, they can do all sorts of things in order for them to remain competitive. Not only competitive, but become sustainable and profitable.
Yes, and profitable.
It's very key.
Right. You know what I love about market intelligence, and because you've schooled me a little bit before, and that is why I thought we needed to have this class, is that it is looking at many things, different areas in terms of the stakeholders that we work with as entrepreneurs. You've touched on the customer, you've touched on the competition. It says know about your suppliers, know about your regulators, know about government and the policies of government. So it's a whole array. Who are your partners? Who are your distributors? Where are they today? Yes, you're asking, we don't know where we are. Where are your people? What are they thinking? What are your competitors thinking? So all of this is critical because it then informs how we make decisions as entrepreneurs. I'm excited. I'm just going to sit here and soak up from you as you go.
Yes, and I'm going to give you a framework.
Yeah.
A very simple framework. I can, if someone is in Nigeria, if someone's in Kenya, if someone's in South Africa, if someone's outside Africa,
right,
there's the same framework that can be used. For you to be able to understand your market, you need to have competence.
Right.
You need to be confident of your target market. So we're going to talk about market opportunities. This is the first step.
Okay.
That you need to, as an entrepreneur, you need to establish what are the market opportunities within the market that I'm operating in.
Or that I want to operate.
That I want to operate in, the industry.
Right.
The country that I'm within. What are the market opportunities? And for example, I'll just give an example. If you are a manufacturer of fertilizers, you've been manufacturing fertilizers, and there is a hype or a trend of green technology that there are now organic fertilizers that are not made from synthetic chemicals. Yeah. And you are in the same sector, in the same industry, and you ignore this. You will find
you've missed an opportunity.
You've missed an opportunity. That's an opportunity for you to do another line of business within the same business that you are doing, and for growth. Because definitely, this is undisputable fact. there are going to be customers who are going to buy this product.
Right.
Because people want safety. That's very important. Now, if you miss this opportunity, but before you go into the opportunity, you need to assess. Is the timing right? Do you have the ability to get into that?
Ability.
The ability. Do you have the ability? Do you have the financial ability? Do you have the skills to embark into that? You need to look into that also. If a lot of people are aware, that means awareness is widespread, that now people are going green. So they want to, every farmer wants to sell organic produce. Every end user wants to consume organic produce. So if then you don't go into this, but you're manufacturing fertilizer.
Oh, so the awareness
is very important.
Fertile ground for
Yes,
you.
yes.
So if the market is ready,
The market
they're
is
aware
ready.
that this
Yes,
is a new happening.
definitely.
Right.
There's an interest, and it can actually sort of evoke demand. That then there is going to be demand for that. So that's the one of the opportunities that I'm saying. What happens if you ignore all this?
No, before you do, I wanted to say, when you were mentioning timing, there's an opportunity, but is the timing right?
Yeah.
I'm reminded of a friend of mine, distant friend, who wanted to start on an online university before COVID.
Yes.
That was an opportunity that was very plain, ready to be grasped. However, at the time, the regulators were not ready for that. They looked at it and said, we don't think we can regulate the online space. Because they didn't know how the online space works. They're used to traditional universities, and they already have standards that regulate traditional universities. So at the time pre-COVID, the market was not ready. The regulators were not ready. But after COVID, because COVID forced all institutions to go online, after COVID, the timing was now right. So you can see that trying to introduce this thing before, the opportunity was there, but the timing just was not right. Today, if you try to start an online university, you get support because now regulators have come on board. So when you were mentioning timing, that is something that I thought about.
That's great. And timing is in line. It's just in conjunction with awareness, as you mentioned, awareness. Because obviously when the regulators are doing that, there's going to be widespread of public awareness. And once there's public awareness about that, then everybody wants to participate. That's the right time. You can get into the business because you're not going to start struggling to exist.
Yeah, I was touched. I was actually touched when you mentioned ability, because sometimes as entrepreneurs, when we see an opportunity in the market, we want to pounce on the opportunity. And we hardly ever stop to say, will I be able to actually deliver on the opportunity? I think the other day you and I were discussing, I don't know if you mentioned it somewhere along the way, import substitution. So when you look at the import bill of a country, you see a lot of opportunity there. As an entrepreneur, of course you can play. That is an opportunity. You have spotted it in the market. However, there will be questions around the people who are currently buying imported goods. At what price are they buying it? Will you be able to beat that price if you were to produce from inside? Do you have the skills, like you were saying, to produce the quality that is expected? So it's the opportunity, yes, it's there, import substitution. But if you were to do it, do you have the ability to produce equivalent quality? Do you have the ability to offer at the same price that people have been buying? So that ability point, I was touched when you mentioned it.
Yes. Do you have the resource to do it?
Right.
Opportunities are there. You can find opportunity within just customer service, space.
Right.
You can find opportunity within the technological space. Right now, this AI, artificial intelligence, is all over. People are running around. There's an opportunity.
Right.
If you decide to ignore the opportunities, you will be left out, and you lose. You lose in the opportunity. You may lose in the business because there is a relationship between the market awareness and your business. Remember, you are a player within other players. Now, other players have participated and they're engaging in this opportunity. You are not. No, so they are going to definitely take some shares in terms of the customers.
Market share.
Yes, market share. They will take some customers from you, or a big chunk of customers.
Right.
who will then defect from you, and then they're going to your competitors. Then what will happen? You will not be able to meet your financial obligations. If you're a small business enterprise, you collapse.
Right.
Simple.
Burial.
Yeah, it's burial. So you don't want to decide to ignore opportunities.
Right.
Be part of the opportunities. Find out what is going on with the opportunity. Is there regulation? Is there or is not regulated at all? Is this a long-term business?
Right.
Or just a wave that is passing by? What is this opportunity?
So what I hear you saying is the danger of not keeping your ear on the ground about what is happening is you miss out on opportunities,
Yes,
you miss out on
yes.
market share, you miss out on your profits for
Yes.
which you could even close down.
You can even close them, most especially if you're just in ICU, in the brink of collapse. And then this comes in, an opportunity comes in that takes everything away from you. So it's important as an African that you should be very alert, and you should do exercise.
Scan the market for
And
opportunities.
scan the market for
even if your
opportunities.
business is doing well
Yes,
at the moment,
yes,
scan the
yes.
market for
Definitely.
opportunities.
Definitely.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Another critical issue that needs to be looked at is market size.
Market size.
Even though there are opportunities, or you have looked at different opportunities, you need to look at the concept of market size. You are coming as a new entrance
Right.
into the market. You need to know how big is this market. What is the value of this market? You don't want to come into a market that is making your target, your forecast and your projections shows that you want to make 1 million, and the entire industry is making 3 million. You're not going to get into such a
So you are basically saying you are going to come in and take a third of the
you're basic, and which is actually not that possible. Maybe you are in the raw market. You could be in the raw market. If the market size is very small and your financial forecasts are close to the market size, then you have a big problem.
It's unrealistic.
It's unrealistic. For example,
maybe
yes.
just before you give me the example, when we talk about market size, because sometimes I see colleagues when we're talking as entrepreneurs who take the population of the country as a whole as their market size. I know that the population has a big part to play in influencing the market size, but the market size, I've always thought it means the people who would buy your product in a sense, and then you look at, you target the specific segment and say the people who would buy my product maybe are students, for example, and then later I can segment and say out of that market size, we are now zeroing in, or maybe tertiary students, and then out of that big market size, I can then maybe zero into my target market being maybe girls or female students. So this concept of market size, is it talking about everybody? If I'm targeting Africa, is it talking about every human being who's breathing the air in Africa, or what is this market size thing?
Thank you so much for that. The most important thing that someone needs to do is to look at what are you offering, your product, your service. What is it that you are offering before you take it to understand the market size? Because if you understand that your product is, for example, your product is running trainers. If your product is running trainers, then sportswear. You see, running trainers, sportswear.
Right.
Within your country, the sports people, you're looking at what? In terms of active sports people. You're looking at, say for example, 100,000 customers, and each of them, to be realistic, they spend at least $100 per year on getting new running trainers. You see?
Yeah.
So then one will say, if that's the case, then it means that the market size that I'm targeting is about $10 million US.
Okay.
You need to scale it down to the position where you understand, okay, I have this product.
Yeah.
I'm selling avocado. I'm in Kenya. Avocado is mostly consumed and exported in Kenya.
Right.
An example. Okay, but who are consuming this avocado? Is it us?
Right.
Or is it the export market?
And what is the size?
And what is the size of export market that we are talking about? So then you will need to, because the issue is who will immediately get the product and they need it. That's why I was giving an example of training runners. They can't do without it, can they?
No.
No.
They can't. Right.
They can't. You can have one.
SV I can do
No,
without them
yes,
because I'm not a sports person.
Yes, you can. You're not a sports person, but the sports people, which we need, which we are targeting, which is your market size because you are selling sportswear.
Right.
You need to know how many are they, and from time to time they have to change.
Right.
When they change, they have to come to you. Then you can develop marketing strategies that will then reach your customers.
Sometimes we come with these great plans and these great projections, and then you're getting into a market, when you check the market size is so small, yet your projections are anticipating all these numbers of people who would be coming.
The mistake we do as Africans.
Hey. It pains me because I think we normally, when it comes to market size, I know big corporates talk about market size. Normally as entrepreneurs, I know we are improving. I'm not accusing my fellow entrepreneurs of not coming up to speed with these concepts. But in general, especially with necessity entrepreneurship, life is pressing me at the moment. I'm going to take whatever it is and sell it. I'm not concerned. I'm hoping that whatever number of people we have out there, some will gravitate toward my product. We don't go and do all those calculations and establish what is the market size. We put our product out and hope that, I've cast my net and I'll catch some fish. So there's the clinical work that you're talking about where I established the market size. We are still lagging behind a little bit. And hopefully you conclude with some tools, or maybe we can link some tools that people can use to establish the market size, so they at least alone someone can establish for themselves what their market size is.
Yes, it's very important. Everybody, every entrepreneur, every small business enterprise, every institution, every multi-chain stores, everybody has to understand their market size. If you ignore your market size, you're going to take other people's market size and make it yours. And you'll stumble. Right. You'll stumble because you don't know you don't know the value within that segment. Maybe there's no value. Maybe there's no value. Right. It means you're coming with a product that is not needed. There's nobody's buying the product. There's no income generated through sales of that product.
There's no established need
for that product. But you're coming excited with it, and you establish a plant, some sort of a plant, a big thing, and then you want customers. Where are you going to get them from? Because you didn't do your work. You didn't check.
I'm usually very impressed when I watch entrepreneurship programs like Dragon's Den, and the dragons are asking the entrepreneur about that market size. And they give the answer like this, and I'm like, hey, my fellow African colleagues, if we were to be thrown in front of the camera and somebody's like, so what's your market size?
Yeah, those are very important. Every investor wants to understand the first thing that when you talk about funding or you want to get some funds from an investor, they want to ask you, what is the market size?
Yeah, because it represents potential for growth. It represents if we're making profits today, is it going to be sustainable, or the market is so small, you satisfy it and it's saturated in one day?
Yeah, definitely. Look, advertising, everything that is going to be channeled and vehicles that are going to be used to be channeled to that target market, there has to be value. There has to be value in there. If there's no value, it means there's nothing. Yeah. Don't do it. Simple. Well, it doesn't matter where you are. Even when you're in Madagascar, you're in the corner of Angola. Yeah. Don't do it.
Right.
Understand the market size first.
Thank you.
Yes. So the other concept, as I said, I was talking about the framework. The other concept that you need to understand is the market share. If you're in a certain industry, let's say, for example, you're in the sugar industry, and in this sugar industry, there are big key players that have taken over the market. You see, that are the only ones selling sugar, whether in Africa or even in your country. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies selling sugars, and the other one taking 30%, the other one 20%, the other one 10%, and so forth, and so forth. Now you come in, new entrant. You want to establish a plant, a sugar plant. You want to have the market share. Like maybe industry sales of 10%. You need to increase customer awareness and brand awareness and position your product into the consumer's mind, you are not going to run away from it.
Because they're already used to the existing brand.
They're used to the existing brand.
Yeah.
So they will come, you know what, I'm coming with brown sugar, it's healthy, it's smart, it's good. Fine, fair enough. You're telling us that. But the issue is, are you going to have part of the market share? Are you going to have part of the industry sales? Actually, basically...
And to understand what it takes to get some of that market share, because you're already finding other players in the market, you want to take a portion of that market. What branding strategy are you going to put in there? How are you going to position yourself? How are you going to maybe market? I just was...
it just to ignite you, it just to excite you that you understand the industry sales. Actually, basically, market share, it's just comparing industry sales with your sales. If you don't understand the market share, you will undersell. That's one. Two, you will under-advertise because you are not going to know that you are playing a bigger pool. Stretch your wings.
Yes.
You
get a bigger share.
Stretch your wings so that you can get a bigger share. And if you are just there, then that's why, actually, this is one of the reasons why small business enterprises in Africa are not growing.
Right.
Because they ignore the market share.
You know, there's something you explained to me a while ago when you were saying if somebody gets into a market and they've anticipated to take a particular share of the market, sometimes they will produce, like in this case, sugar, and sell. They get in there, they've marketed themselves, they've branded themselves, and they've positioned themselves very well, and they bring in that sugar, and people are like, okay, oh look, this is good sugar after all, and then you get a particular share of the market. And then somewhere along the way, you don't have supplies. All those other people who've been, other companies who've been supplying sugar in the market had stable supplies. They had silos even where they kept all this sugar. Yours was seasonal. You don't have steady supply, and you've gotten the market share, but you soon lose the market share because you don't have steady supply. Even people who have moved to you are like, okay, so now where is your sugar? Hey, no, you know, my supplier, hey, our ship is still out at sea. It's on the way. Then you lose the market share, even if you had gotten the market share. That was a light bulb moment.
It excites me to understand that you're actually following.
Yes.
And you're part of the class.
Yes.
It's very, very exciting. There will be an objective for logistics to ensure this consistency of the product. If you're getting that product outside your country, and the logistics of it are becoming constraining to reach you, then the market will become frustrated.
Yes.
You will never have the market share. A lot of businesses do not have market share because of inconsistency in their supplies. Another thing that is very important, remember we talked about market share? Remember we talked about market opportunities? Please do not forget.
I
hope you are taking some
market
notes.
Opportunities, market size, market share.
Market share. Now we're getting into what you call as market validation.
Okay.
This is determining if there's a need for your product in your target market. Is there a need for your product in the target market? I'm going to give you examples, a few of them. And there is someone that I was dealing with when I was consulting, one of my clients consulting market intelligence. This client, they bought ozone generators from abroad to a country that doesn't understand the use of it. So ozone generator for vehicle surface decontamination. Who wants that? Surface decontamination. You are trying to kill microorganisms inside a car.
Okay.
Now, if you are trying to kill microorganisms inside a car, that does interest me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one, it's a market opportunity. Two, it's an important thing because we are coming from COVID.
Right.
Let's say this thing
sometimes we have young babies.
Yeah, we young babies. Let's say this thing was implemented. It's possible that COVID could be spread when people were driving together as a family. You understand? But if we take that product and come into an uninformed market, and try to push it into the people, no. Market validation.
Is that product needed?
It's needed. The product is not needed. So therefore, it's invalid.
You know, the other day we were discussing design thinking, and that was the biggest premise on it. It was go and find out if there's a need for this product before you even come up with a product. Establish what the problem is that clients have. Then when you bring your product, you can be checking whether or not it even is needed by people, is solving some of the problems, or even meeting a particular need or gap in the market. So the idea is to validate first.
Yes.
If you can even create a prototype, because that's what design thinking was suggesting. Create a little prototype and go check. Ask the people who would use this product, is this a good product? Would you buy it? Validate the market. And before we start investing in the warehouse and the machinery and employing people, validate the market first.
And the mistake that was made in there was that the client or the business owner targeted the whole population.
What do you mean by the whole population? It's like everybody's going to buy it.
Everybody's going to buy it.
Everybody's part of my market side.
Everybody's part of my market side. Everyone's going to buy this product. I can tell you, they informed me that only specialized doctors, medical doctors, those are the ones that try to buy small quantities. They bought a bigger amount. They've got too much stock.
Right.
People can't buy it. They are running down in terms of finances. They got a funding from a financial institution. Yes. They can't pay back. They can't keep up because validation. Failing to validate. They couldn't validate if this product is actually needed in the market. And who needs it? How many are they? Are very few medical doctors, trust me. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of them?
No.
Actually, it's a scarce skill.
And even if there are many medical doctors, how many of those medical doctors are interested in buying this machinery?
So you find that
I love that. The other day I was listening to some young people who were pitching an idea, I hope by sharing. I'm not going to be outing their business because they're still working on it. They were talking about mental health issues and that young people are struggling with mental health and they want to start a mental health facility. And I asked them, so these young people who are struggling with mental health, will they be coming though to your facility? Can you validate that? If this market that you've identified will actually come to your facility, will they literally walk to your facility and come into your facility, in that sense? Or you are seeing the problem, you see that problem as your potential market, and you think that your facility is going to necessarily be used by these people. Sometimes if a young person is struggling with mental health, they are not thinking to go to a facility. In fact, sometimes they are even averse with the idea of going into facilities, being stigmatized, they even being seen as weak if you are reaching out and talking to a therapist or a counselor in that sense. So just because you are coming up with this idea of having a mental health facility does not mean that these young people that you're targeting are going to come to your facility. Sometimes, so I got them even thinking about how can I avail this facility online and maybe reach them on their mobile, just validate. You are saying young people are struggling with mental health. Yeah. Check if they would actually go to a facility and get help.
Thank you so much for that, for the elaboration. I'll say this way. Market challenges or market problems or problems within the target market that does not necessarily mean that there's business viability. Right. You see, I want to say it this way. Because if for example you're talking about mental health issues, one, everybody is shy to open up. Yes. Naturally. Right. Now, and everybody keeps those things, those mental issues as secrets. Naturally. Yes. Across the world, not only Africa. Right. Now, if you want these people to be your target market, there has to be a way in which you're going to stimulate an immediate need for them to go for your services. What is it?
A burning desire to actually come to your facility.
What is it? Is it going to be an issue of, some sort of comfort that you're going to give to them? maybe some, I don't know, whatever that you're
I was
thinking.
even thinking, maybe say if you avail your service on a mobile phone and they can be sitting in
What is
the
it?
toilet even and going through your, your sessions or your counseling sessions or therapy sessions, whatever it is that maybe you can use to say to them you'll have privacy, or I will find a way to reach you wherever you will be. You don't have to walk into a facility and be stigmatized, being seen coming into whatever it is, to your point, that you can then say, what will you do to get your people this problem that you've identified to come to you? Otherwise, it will remain a problem there. You will remain a facility there.
And marketing intelligence involves doing some checks, background checks, cultural backgrounds, beliefs, the norms. Where are these people coming from? Who am I? Preferences. How my upbringing. All these factors, they affect someone's mental health. And you come in and find that there's a very big iceberg in the middle of the sea. And you try to marinate it and massage it. Thinking that you understand what is beneath there. It's not an easy thing. It could on face value, it could be a good business model. But if you go deeper in there, you see that there's no business viability. Remember, you have to get into business to make profit. That's it. You need to make profit. And you need to sustain the business. Are these customers that you're talking about going to come to you time and time again? Such that you can make sales. Remember, you're talking about market size. We are talking about market share. Are you going to have market share? Is there going to be profitability within that sector? Or you're offering free services? If you're going to be offering free services, you're not an entrepreneur. This is entrepreneurship. You see? And we fall into that trap.
For us as an institution, we have had to, run small pilot programs where we offer pilot programs. Sometimes we offer pilot programs for free, and that's how we're trying to validate the market. We said entrepreneurs need 1, 2, 3, so we'd come up with a short course and then we'd offer it to entrepreneurs for free, and then the market would respond and we see that, so we have somewhat validated the market. But then we're like, what if we don't offer it for free? Let's see what will happen, so that at least with a small course and a small test, we can validate whether there is a market and people would come for the product.
What I want to say to Africans today and is that you need to attempt to try your product. Even if you can get poor results, it's fine.
Or to test it, you mean?
Test it. It's needed.
Right.
It's needed. Test your product out there. See if there's any need of some kind. If there's need, you'll see people, they will finish in no time.
So I shouldn't assume there's need.
No, don't assume.
You have to validate that.
You have to validate it. If you use assumptions to make business conclusions, then you're going to get a blind person, basically.
Right.
Yes. So if you go into the business without validating,
sometimes we don't want to be disappointed. We're protecting our hearts, Isaac. If I go there and check if the market exists and I'm already excited about something, and I get there and I'm like, this market is not valid. So then I'm aborting the mission and I'm so disappointed and,
prevent it before it be better than cure you.
So you will be disappointed later. Now with a bigger
problem. With a bigger problem. So it's important
to validate the market.
Thank you. Those are key concepts that one needs to, and then we get into this concept called market fit. For you to understand it more, let me elaborate it. If more than 50-60% of clients cannot do without a product, we have the market fit.
If they would be disappointed if your product stopped, then you have a market fit.
We have the market fit.
They will miss you if you stop.
They will miss you if you stop. Now the question is, why is it important for you to have the market fit? It's consistency in purchasing your services, in purchasing your product. That means this person is not going to stop. That is called an income stream, a certified income stream. It's you're confident with income stream. I'm coming with a product. I'm introducing this thing to this target market. Definitely they will respond. It's
because
more like
it's fitting. It's meeting their underserved need.
I can tell you confidently that this is where you can actually invest. You can take your funds, invest in that market.
Yeah, because there's market fit.
Some cultures want to reject your product.
Right.
Some cultures will embrace it. You understand? They will embrace the product because it's in line with their beliefs. That's a market fit.
Right.
Once you come and you sell such kind of a product to them, it's what they believe in.
Yeah.
They will buy it immediately. So market fit. If you don't have a market fit as a company, as a new entrepreneur, as an institution, you are trading in dangerous waters. Let me just let me put it this way: you are trading in dangerous waters
because now you'll be pushing and forcing people to buy your product, but it doesn't meet their need. It's not a good fit.
It's not a good fit.
It could be good as a product. We love it. The packaging is good. The product quality is good, but there's no need over here for that product.
I'll give an example. There are food deliveries around the country, across Africa, and even outside the country. And you find that these companies or these restaurants that are running food deliveries, people can get really frustrated. I've got a son, I've got a daughter. When this delivery sometimes is not there, they'll remind me. Why? Because the company, they've got market fit.
They'll remind you it's been a while since this delivery company.
This delivery. So can we have it, please?
Yeah. You know, Isaac, it reminds me of our catering business. We've learned so much.
Yes.
My husband and I from the catering business that we were running. Initially, we started serving individual clients and would make lunch and then would get to sell to individual corporates. And they were not buying. The product was good. We invested in good ingredients, and I know at the time we were very specific and very particular about the ingredients that we used. But it wasn't needed. It was a good product. The food tasted nice, but people just did not need any special food. They would pass our stalls and go to, these ladies who sell under the tree, buy their lunch there in suits. I'm talking about people who are dressed like you. They would leave their offices, pass our fancy little stall, and go to these ladies who are selling under the tree, get their food, go back inside, and we're like, what are we missing? The food is good, it tastes amazing, we invested in good ingredients. No, it's not needed over here.
I love that.
We learned the hard way. It's not a market fit. But when we took the same ingredients and made the same type of food to corporate institutions and started selling to them, you'd get 4 or 5 people from their procurement offices coming to our industrial kitchen to taste the food, and they're saying, you know what? We would love this for our events. So when they're hosting 200 people for one event, they call us. They're hosting the minister and all these people, they call us. So there was a market fit. They cared about the ingredients. They cared about how the food tasted and whether it was warm by the time the service was done. Well, on the other side, it was good food, everything, but we're going to what we want. So we learned the hard way about this issue of market fit. Thankfully for us, there was time. We still had the resources. We had the kitchen. We had the staff. So we just simply pivoted and went to the right market, and we found a good fit there.
Let me tell you, if you don't understand your target market, if you don't understand the behavior of your target market, you have got people that are supposed to buy a product,
and they're not buying it.
And you're not buying it, and you don't know how they feel about it.
Right.
You don't know who they are. So you need to be able to position yourself such that when you're not there, they can even talk about you.
Yeah, and say, where's that thing?
Where's that thing?
Yeah, we're discussing recently about these, what do you call them? These cars that we buy from outside, the imported cars.
Vehicles, yes.
We see that in Africa, they are bought a lot. They are a lucrative industry.
Yeah.
These import cars. We talk about, there is talk about these are this is dumping.
They're just dumping.
We're taking from these developed countries and we're being dumped, and it's being dumped into Africa. Yeah. While that is the truth, it's the reality. The other reality is that people are buying these cars because they are affordable. They do meet the affordability, the price that the customer is willing to pay for a car, and it helps them move from A to B. So when you talk about market fit, it fits like a glove. This car is going to move me from A to B. It might not last me 10 years because it's an import car, it's a used car, but it will take me from A to B for the next 5 years, and perhaps that's all I need. And right now, it fits my budget. So we see that we could shun them and say they are being dumped here, etc. But the reality is they found a good market fit in Africa. To this day, they're still lucrative.
Yeah, they have the market fit within the African countries.
Right.
They have the market fit because people It's not everybody who can afford an expensive car. So everybody now can afford because of that.
Yeah.
So they have the market fit. They are serving a need. That is existing. They are serving a need. And once you serve a need as an entrepreneur, then you are in the right track. Wow. There is definitely going to be success.
We had a student that we were incubating who wanted to roast and sell coffee.
Yes.
Here in Botswana. And as much as the student was very passionate about coffee and the roasting of coffee, and he knew where he was going to be buying it. I think he said Kenya or someplace he was going to import the coffee from Kenya and roast it and sell it to Botswana. And we were thinking, okay, we are a semi-desert, 9 if not 10 months out of 12 months of the year. It's extremely hot. People don't care to drink coffee in that quantity. Even people who do take tea or the hot beverages in our country, it's mainly tea. We don't have a coffee culture as a people. I mean, between you and I, sometimes I take coffee, you stick with your tea. Yeah. If Isaac is ordering, I know he's ordering one version of tea or the other version of tea. And you and I are just a small fraction of people who take warm beverages in the country. So his coffee business, thankfully he discovered that it wasn't a market fit for this country. He discovered while he was still going through incubation and doing his market intelligence. But I'm now reminded of people who have already invested in a huge warehouse. You have invested in machinery. You have employed people. You have taken capital and thrown into stock only to learn that your product does not meet any specific need. Yeah. It's not a market fit.
Yeah, it's not a market fit. It's not cold. We don't need it to survive. We don't need to be warm. We don't necessarily need. So it's just a complementary product. Wow. It's there. You can have it for taste and for some sort of, relaxation. But it's not.
It's not a need.
It's not a need. It's not a key thing. It's not in our culture. It's not imagined in our culture. So if you go into a space where that type of a product would not be needed, don't do it. This is what we have to advise in entrepreneurs. Up and until you have the power to stimulate and ignite a need, don't do it.
Right.
Because
or the need really exists, and you have established that need, what the
yes.
promise and how your product is going to solve that need.
Yes.
Until then, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Wow, I'm actually just thinking to whoever is watching, if you are passionate about something, you are personally convicted about this thing and that it will work, you've convinced yourself that it will work. If there is no need for that product, if the customers that you're targeting could do without your product, maybe you could right about now abort that mission. You don't want to spend your resources convincing people to buy your product and keep going and going and going, trying to get people pushing your product. It's only a matter of time before your aunts and cousins who have been buying because they are blood related to you who say, okay, we are also done. So even if you're passionate, if there is no market fit, don't do it.
No, don't do it.
If it's not needed, don't do it. If people won't miss you when your product is gone, don't go in.
Yeah, don't go in.
And if you've already gone in, which is what now we like to discuss with my business partners, if we've already gone in, the sooner we cut our losses and say, this thing is not a market fit, let's close right here. Sometimes we call it a funeral. We say, guys, let's take this beloved business of ours, this beloved idea, let's put it into this pit and bury it. Even if we sit here and cry and we have to quote scriptures and comfort ourselves, let's do that. It's not a market fit. People don't need it. It's only going to be, we'll be bleeding money from here on if we don't stop. Let's just stop right now.
Yes. And you know why there are so many motivational business speakers? It's because they are trying to heal the nations about market fit. They just don't say it.
Yeah.
People don't have market fit.
Yeah.
So and they will come as motivational speakers. You know what? You can fail one, second time you fail, third time you fail, fourth time
keep getting up
and
keep
fail
trying.
and fail. If you fail, that's the road. No, failure is not the road.
The truth that we're telling our entrepreneurs today,
Yes.
this is it. If it's not a market fit, people don't need it. Shut the store
down.
Yeah.
So stop going to motivational and wanting to heal your heart,
Right.
listening to motivational speakers, because they are just circling this concept of market fit.
They're just putting a band-aid.
Yeah,
but
a band-aid
the
on the
wound
market
is not
fit.
healing.
Yeah, the wound is that you do not have the market fit.
You know, I think we listened
You
to
see.
Myron Golden. There's a gentleman in the US called Myron Golden.
Yes.
He is a sales guru, really.
Yes.
So people pay him a lot of money for consultancy just to come and get sales strategies from him. And in one clip I watched when he was talking about somebody who had paid, because his price tag is
Yes.
insanely high.
Yeah.
Because people know for the price I'm paying, he'll give me these sales tactics that will turn my business around. He's proven he's been doing it, or at least he says so, because I have not been a client of his. But he says sometimes after somebody pays that huge consultancy bill and he comes and he looks at the business, you tell the person, you don't have a business. It's got nothing to do with turnaround sales strategy. There's no sales strategy that's going to save this business. Your product doesn't have market fit. Just go shut down.
Yeah, that's it. That's the reason why there's that high price tag. It's just to make people realize
Right.
that they didn't have the market fit.
So even if somebody, what I loved from Myron saying that is, it showed me his integrity. That you're not going to just throw these marketing tactics or these sales tactics at this entrepreneur and get them to keep going back and trying when you have seen that this is not a business. So you just rip off the band-aid and say, you actually don't have a business.
Yeah.
Your product is not needed. Your service is not needed. Close down. No need for fresh new sales tactics. No, they won't save you. You don't have a business.
Yeah.
Close down.
Close down.
The money you've paid Myron Golden is actually saved yourself a lot of money bleeding that you would have done trying to, keep this company going. Sometimes you need somebody who just say, I'm a sales guru, I know how to sell, what do they say, snow to an Eskimo.
Yes.
This one, my boss,
Yes.
will not sell.
Yeah.
There is no market fit.
There is no market
Let
fit.
us close. Let's hold the funeral now.
Yeah. That's it.
Have you ever had to do that? Because I know you consult in
No,
marketing.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, in some instances where we see that there's no market fit, we advise the client to shut down, because there are one of the clients that I was dealing with lately was actually given prison documents because they allowed themselves to be consumed by the idea that there's a market fit while they didn't have the market fit. Now they dragged themselves into financial complications and then ended up being sued and then taken now to imprisonment, for civil imprisonment.
So this thing here is
these
dangerous.
are very serious things.
This is a dangerous thing.
It's a dangerous thing. If you don't have the market, don't take chances. It will affect your own life. It will affect your own children's life. It will affect your even freedom. So if you get into such kind of space where you see that there's no market fit,
close down.
retreat and close down.
Call a thing a thing.
Call a thing a thing. Market fit is one of the most important things.
Yeah. And you know what I do like though? If you have your product as market fit now, keep checking. That is why market intelligence is an ongoing thing, because consumers' needs also are changing.
Yes.
So people's needs, it's a very turbulent market.
Yeah.
What people need today, tomorrow they'll be like, I don't need it.
Yeah.
So you may be having a good market fit today. Your product is needed today, but keep your eye on your clients. Feel their pulse, know what they want, how their needs are changing, so that when their needs change, you can also tweak your product or introduce a newer product to meet the newer need. So don't assume that, I'm watching this thing that V is teaching and Isaac is explaining and hey, I have a good market fit, so I'm good. No, keep doing your market intelligence, because some needs are changing. Very soon you will find yourself not having, good market fit. We were discussing Western Union. Bless their hearts. We just have to use these examples, not to say that we are, shunning what people are doing. We're discussing Western Union. We're trying to send some money to some team members in Rwanda recently. And we ended up using Mukuru because they preferred Mukuru. It uses mobile money. They were like, Western Union, so who's still using those services? So I have to go to Western Union building and then start reclaiming it. Why don't you just send me mobile money and I can just on my phone transact? So we realized Western Union was a perfect market fit at one point, but the needs kept changing. We'll discuss that, I guess, as we carry on. But the idea is, with market intelligence, you keep your eye on the market. You keep understanding the suppliers, understand your regulators, understand your customers. Whatever needs are happening, move with them. That's generally market intel. But with the clients, if you have good market fit today, tomorrow you may not have good market fit. I'm just questioning our entrepreneurs.
Yes,
so maybe
yes.
now I am doing good market fit, that it might actually change.
Like a weather forecast.
Like the weather forecast.
Climatic conditions.
Right.
On daily basis.
Right.
You understand? It's cloudy today. Today is rainy. The following day is this. It's sunny. So you need to be able to check, to do your checks on daily basis.
And maintain your
market fit.
Right.
And check your competitors, maintain your market fit. Check market size, maintain your market fit. Check all these things.
Yeah.
If you are not aware of these things, the ship will go. There's one multinational company that forgot to change.
Yeah, was it Nokia?
It is Nokia. You remember now?
Yes.
So Nokia, was what, for me, everybody, I'm sure it took all over the African market.
Yes.
For you to start having a phone, everybody was, I want to have Nokia.
Yeah, 3310. I remember crying the whole night because
everybody wanted to have Nokia because that was the thing then.
Yes.
But they forgot to change. And when they realized that they had the market fit, they retrieved. We have the market fit, so what?
Yeah. So
then that market shifted from them.
Right.
And then it was taken by other people. They don't have the market fit
anymore.
The business collapsed.
Yeah.
So these are realistic things.
Yes.
So it's very important that...
is it now taking us to the point about market trends?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah, school me.
Definitely, I'm coming there to the market trends. Actually, market fit. There is that relationship of market fit and market trends.
Right.
But market trends is anything that alters the market your company operates in. This is a wave. It's a wave.
Right.
And friends all over Africa, whether you are in South Africa, whether you are in Lesotho, whether you are in Egypt, whether you are in Kenya, Nigeria, if you are not going to be familiarizing yourself with market trends, my friend, you're going to be in so much trouble.
Right.
I'll give an example. Just an example. There are, robotic cleaning equipment.
Right.
You have a clean business, small enterprise.
Right.
There in the corner of Egypt, you are cleaning people's hospitals.
They know you.
They know you are cleaning clinics.
Right.
But there is a robotic machine that is in town, and one of your major competitors is using it.
It's the new trending
It's the new trending thing. So every company now, they're sending quotations. Can you please come use the robotic clean equipment? Can you please come and clean using robotic equipment? You don't know because you're not familiarizing yourself with market trends.
Right.
That's a trend in the cleaning industry. So if you're in the cleaning industry, you're not using robotics, you don't know what is happening, you're just losing business. Your sales are getting down. What is making me to lose business? Yes.
Sometimes we say, I don't like this trend.
Yes.
I don't like this new trend. As an entrepreneur, it's got nothing to do with whether you like the new trend or not. If it's trending, it's probably going to affect your business. If it's trending in your industry, it will probably affect you. So it's got nothing to do with whether you like the new trend or not. There are people who currently are averse to artificial intelligence. Yeah. If artificial intelligence is going to affect your industry, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not as a trend. If it's trending, it's going to affect your customers. It's going to hurt your pocket. You might close down very soon. So we should clear our minds of this notion that I don't like this trend. This trend maybe doesn't like you either.
And the trend doesn't care if you like it or not.
Right.
I'll give an example. When COVID hit the world, learning institutions, they were trying to be a little bit resistant.
Yeah.
They couldn't. They tried.
Right.
They couldn't be resistant.
Right.
Now they have to. Now in this period that we are in, they do health classes.
Yeah,
they
very
do
true.
classes.
I have a living example of that. When we were talking, because I've been in the education space for a while, when we were talking about online learning pre-COVID, It's not only the regulators that we spoke about earlier who were still averse to it.
Yes.
Other academics were averse to online learning because they are used to traditional education. They were just averse to this new trend.
Yes.
Whether you like the trend or you don't, it's taking over your industry. The best thing you can do for yourself, especially as an entrepreneur, is get with the program. Inform yourself and start pivoting. The sooner you do it, the better. Even today when we start discussing ChatGPT, we find some entrepreneurs who don't care about ChatGPT. They don't care about artificial intelligence. And we're like, it's not about whether you care or you like it. It's coming to disrupt your industry, so you better inform yourself about it. So when I was saying, are we going to talk about trends? I wanted to speak about the green movement.
Yes.
Where we are now talking about sustainability, sustainable energy,
the
going green. Yeah. And we know of a friend who had for many years been working to get into coal mining, and it's a great opportunity in several countries in Africa. But while you're still working on that, the trend is now green. At the moment, the last thing you want to get into is anything that is bringing carbon into the atmosphere. We are going on the carbon offsetting movement, and you are here trying to start a coal mine because you've landed this coal mining deal, you have a license. Yeah, but the trend is working against you. Even the banks who could supply or finance your mine, now that you have the mining license, the bank could be like, yeah, our funders around the world or our shareholders around the world will not allow us to finance your business that is going to be emitting so much carbon. It's the new trend. Understand what is trending and be careful as an entrepreneur. Don't try to work against the wave. Like you were saying, it's a wave, it's a movement. Inform yourself and pivot.
Yes. You are not. I like that example that you used about coal. The world has established protocols.
Yeah.
International organizations have made and established protocols to stop emissions of carbon into the atmosphere, because it has got tremendous effects in people's lives, animals, the forest, and the environment at large. Now, if you want to go into something that the whole world is trying to stop, and now you've got these big opportunities of coal beds.
Right.
And you feel, you know what, we have to go into the mining of the coal beds and produce electricity. There's no electricity there and there and there.
Yeah.
And obviously do some product lines.
The market is working against
the trend, the force. Yeah. I like to use the word. The force of the trend is so much powerful that the ship is going to sink.
Yeah. And then also the market trends here as a force are representing, in this case, something that would work against you. But what I like about talking about market trends in market intelligence is the trend could also present an opportunity. You remember my friend that I brought to you recently who wanted to go into plastic manufacturing.
Yes. I remember,
then our discussion with him became, why don't you go into recycling, plastic recycling?
Yeah, plastic recycling.
Still make tables or whatever it is you want to make out of plastic, but use recycled plastic.
Which is in line with the mandate, with the force.
Right.
Yes. Which is in line with the force.
Yes.
If you go against the force, it will take you down. Why? Because, for example, if you talked about ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, open AI. Right now, a lot of professionals are trying to be ignorant.
Yes.
That's one. Secondly, they're trying to talk in a negative energy about ChatGPT, that this is not legitimate, and the information or the data that is coming from there it's not legit and all that. Trust me, a lot of people are going to lose jobs, across Africa, across the world, and a lot of other people are going to gain jobs because they are embracing the new technology. So if you want to search about for example, we've been talking about market fit, we've been talking about market opportunities, we've been talking about a market, market share. Yeah. It's simple. Do you want to know about the market share of coffee in Africa? Yeah. Just click. You got to get the information right there and there. We are saying And a market intelligent person
Right.
has to be in line with the market trends. Now, once you do that, in the palm of your hand, you're going to know all those things.
Through artificial intelligence.
Through artificial
So
intelligence.
why
You can't
frown
ignore
upon
that.
it? Yes, it's a force.
It's a force.
And we are not
Yes.
even saying
Yes.
that there are no downsides
Yes.
to artificial intelligence
Yes.
as a trend that we're discussing now.
Yes.
We're saying even with its downsides, it is a force that is coming to take over the industry. As an entrepreneur, do yourself a favor. Understand this force, understand its dangers, understand how you can use it as a tool to move in a particular direction.
Yeah.
Before you go in, I'm thinking about electricity. When electricity was introduced many years ago, we were watching a documentary. It was a dangerous thing. People knew that if you touch electricity, you're gone.
Yeah.
There's no resuscitation, nothing. You
Yeah.
go on the
Yeah.
spot. Electricity is doing so much good for us now. We don't know how we would live without electricity,
There's no way.
most of us. It was a dangerous new trend. We're not saying it's not dangerous. We're just saying the use of it. There could be ways of managing the danger. There could be ways of working around the danger of this new trend. But get with the program. Understand it. See how you can mitigate certain risks. Let's learn. Let's improve on the new trends. So they're a force.
Yeah.
You
It's
don't
a
want to
force.
work against
Yeah.
them.
The positivity outweighs the negativity
Right.
or the dangers associated with chat GDP or open or any artificial intelligence. Right now, we are telling Africans
Yeah.
to be informed about the target market. What is going to inform them quickly?
Artificial intelligence.
Definitely. That's exactly
Right.
what is going to inform our entrepreneurs. Artificial intelligence. They are going to understand market opportunities in every country just like that.
Like this.
They are going to be able
And explain to you.
explain to you what market opportunities are there in that country.
Right.
You see, so then you can be able to understand where what market share is, market fit, all these things. You are in a position. What are the market challenges, the key drivers? What is driving the market in that type of country for me to start investing or in that industry? You see, so it's
And
very
understand the trend, understand the force.
Yes.
Don't pray it away.
no.
It's not going away.
It's not going
It's
away.
here to stay.
If
Now we have a lot of universities around the world trying to justify, their physical buildings because the trend came. COVID accelerated this online learning mode of delivery, but it was a new trend that was there as a force. It has come to stay.
Yeah.
So the sooner you understand this is the trend, it's a force. You hating the trend and speaking evil of the trend is not going to stop the trend from moving. It's a force.
Yeah.
We're speaking about artificial intelligence. I had the privilege of attending a competition called Slash. It's an event called Slash in Finland. At the time, this was back in 2018, all the sessions which were being held in different corners of that conference were about artificial intelligence, discussing toys that young people will be playing with and saying they will be filled with AI and they can play with your child and what are the negative effects that would come with that. All of these things about artificial intelligence were being discussed and prototyped and trialed in earnest in 2018. So if you are seeing ChatGPT today as an entrepreneur and you're saying, I don't like this artificial intelligence trend, I'm not going to
be part of the trend.
It's a force.
It's a
there are
force.
people who, even as we speak today, are developing more and more AI products. So inform yourself about these trends and position yourself on how you will use them.
The force of the trend cannot be ignored.
Yeah.
If you ignore the force of the trend,
It can work against
it will not only it will work against you and it is going to take you out of business.
Right.
A trend.
Right.
Yes. So the power of a trend is as powerful as the market fit. The power of a trend. Because once that trend comes in and you try to fiddle with it, it will show you blue colors. I don't know if blue colors or red colors are dangerous, but it will show you that I'm in control.
Yeah, and it's important, I think, as part of the marketing class to emphasize that we are advocating for market intelligence as study of the trend. We are not saying, there's a trend over there, let me jump with it. Oh, there's another trend over there, let me jump with it. We're saying it's a wave, it's a force.
Yeah.
Understand it.
Yes.
Study it enough to know if it's going to be just a 2-year wave that's going to go down, in which case how can you capitalize on the 2-year and know that it's still going to go down, or this is a force that is going to carry on for the next 50 years. What am I going to do to pivot and align myself as a business for the next 50 years? We're not saying if it's a trend, run with it, or study it, understand it, and then position yourself properly as a business. Pivot if you need to pivot. If you think it's a trend from your study, from your market intel, that you can wait out a little bit, do that study, let it inform you, and take that strategy. That's also fine. You can wait out a trend and let it move, and things go back to normal if they do go back to normal. We're just saying, stay informed. Stay with the market intel. Keep your finger as an entrepreneur, as it were, on the pulse of the market.
Yes.
If there's a trend, understand it. What is informing this trend? How long is it likely to last? How much damage can it do to the industry or even to my business? I just thought to solidify that.
I love what you're saying. Sometimes last year something happened. I think that was a test. I really loved it, that test. Although you was testing the market fit, but at the same time it was a trend in the market, within the African continent, even outside.
Yeah.
They just decided to close WhatsApp.
Yeah, to close WhatsApp for a minute.
The frustrations that came out from that action were overwhelming. The whole world was burning. They held the market fit. It's a trend that people joined into. So you can't you can't say, I'm not going to have WhatsApp.
Yes.
No.
We started there, didn't we? There were a lot of people when people were joining WhatsApp. We all had our snobbish ideas around. I'm not going into WhatsApp stuff. Even social media. I'm not going to go into social media.
But you have to. You've got no choice. If you're going to do business, and you're going to want to be successful and reach your customers and communicate closely, heart to heart with your customers, you can't ignore it.
Right.
You can't ignore those things. You can't
ignore my partner and I actually learned the hard way with social media, because we were thinking people are posting for likes, yada yada yada. So we thought, we are above that, so we don't need to be active in social media, until we attended several classes which were being offered by some entrepreneurs in one was in the US, one was in London. I don't know where the third one was from. They were teaching about online presence, and they were saying today, while you don't like social media, people who will be working with you are going to check for your online presence. Whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, they are going to be looking for what it is that interests you. What have you been up to for the past 5 to 6 years, so that we can trust that this is somebody we can work with. Yes. You go into Veronica's social pages and you find nothing has been happening. People lose trust. They don't know who you are, what you've been up to. So they were teaching us about an online footprint. They were saying you need to have an online footprint that we can study your interests and what you've been about for the past 6 years. Even if it's not about likes, post so that you have an online presence. There was a time where people didn't care to have personal phone numbers. Today, if I say, so what's your phone number? And you're like, I don't have a personal phone number. We're like, huh? So how do people reach you? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They were explaining to us that this
Yeah.
social media trend, you don't have to like it.
Yeah.
You just need to use it. Because today, if you're trying to start a relationship with somebody, like at some point in recent times, I wanted to have start a relationship with a lady in Namibia who's doing amazing work. Shout out to Patience Masua if you can see this. So I kept following Patience Masua, and I was saying to my husband, I want to reach out to Patience. I'm always seeing the work that she's doing, and she's very passionate about youth entrepreneurship. I want to ring Patience up. And then it hit us at the time that we didn't have social media presence. So she was going to look at my page. I've been enjoying looking at her interests on social media, but my page was empty. How would Patience trust that Veronica is somebody I can work with? There's nothing on her social media pages. It's been dormant for the past 6 years or 7 years. No, Veronica is not to be trusted. All I'm saying is we learned the hard way that even if you don't like a particular market trend, you need to understand what that trend is doing over time, because then it can work against you.
Definitely.
Long story short, we got on social media and we had to work on our
on
social media pages
yes.
you know, have a digital footprint in a sense.
Not true. No, Africans all over the world, wherever you are,
Yes.
this is very key. It's very important that you have to associate yourself with the trends. Understand the wave. You not necessarily have to participate.
Right.
But that wave, understand the wave, because one or the other, it will affect your customers. Remember, this wave is not going to the open air. It's reaching people. And these people are part of your customers. They will have this trend and see that they have been buying this product from you or this service from you, you are not participating.
Right.
Then they simply defect from you. So as entrepreneurs, the whole world, whether you are starting a business or what you are already a business, an institution, whether you are an organization, whether you are a government department, whatever you are, you need to associate and understand yourself and associate yourself with the trends that are coming in. Some of them, they're just waves that are passing by. That is the issue of the market trends. Then the competitive forces. I love this one.
Competitive forces.
Competitive forces.
School me.
Yeah, I'm gonna school you in this one. I love this one. There is this concept that I'm going to try to explain to you. The competitive competitors. We are talking about people who are selling the same product or offering the same services that you are offering. We are talking about people that are going to be competing against you. Remember, it could be stiff competition. It could be barriers to entry in that space. So the force of competition is one of the critical issues in within the target market space.
Yeah.
And when you do market intelligence, please be very careful about this one when we get there. Slow up your pace, because you really need to understand what's going on, and those things have to be facts. You don't need to speculate. For example, what your consumers want and what your competitors does best. If you can find yourself in this position, my friend, you're in ICU. What your consumers want
It's
and
it's the losing zone.
is the losing zone. You're going to lose, definitely. If you find yourself offering what your consumers want and what your brand does best. If your brand does this thing best, and then and it's what consumers, then you're in the winning zone. But if you're in the risky zone, what consumers want, what your competitors does best, what your brand does best, you're just in the middle in there. It's risky. It's very risky.
Where it's almost like you're very similar to your competition. You are both providing what the customer wants. That's risky.
So alternatively, anybody who is there, if you have a product, they can just simply use
yours,
substitute.
or they can buy the substitute.
And it's not a worrisome issue.
Right.
You understand? For them. So you need to be in this position of what your consumers want is what your brand does best. And this is so much in connection with market fit.
That's the winning zone.
That's the winning zone. It's in so much connection with the market fit. If you're in that position, then you have what you call as competitive advantage. You have the competitive edge to carry on, to still exist, to get more clients and to attract more market share.
So if your competitors have a better market fit, they meet your clients more. Your clients' needs more accurately. They have the edge.
Yes, they have the edge. They have the competitive edge.
But if I am providing something that is a better market fit for my customers, is meeting the customers' needs more accurately, then I have competitive edge. And so that's the zone I want to find myself.
That's the zone that you have to be in the winning zone all the time.
Right.
Don't put yourself in a position of the losing zone or maybe the risky zone. You don't want to be in that space.
I'm following.
If you go into that space, you will survive miraculously. But we don't have miracle. This is business. You're invested in the business. Don't be on the losing zone. Be on the winning zone.
I think then it means, Isaac, what I'm hearing is I should keep getting market intel so that I stay pivoting and innovating and making sure I'm the one who's got the best fit in terms of addressing my customers' needs, so that I stay in the winning zone. I stay with the competitive edge. But if I don't do market intel on a continuous basis, Clients' needs are changing. I'm not changing, or my products are not changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, consumers are pivoting. I'm not pivoting.
Yeah.
So, because market intelligence is saying, check your competitors, check your customers, stay pivoting, stay relevant, stay moving,
Yes.
so that you're forever on the winning
Yes,
zone.
no,
And
definitely. Africans, wherever you are,
Yeah.
my fellow brothers and sisters,
Yes.
please, what you are offering to the customers with your brand,
Yes.
let it be what the customers want.
Want.
And that thing, you have to do it to your best ability.
It has to be an accurate fit.
accurate fit.
It should fit like
Yes.
a glove.
Yes, like a
The
glove.
Cinderella story.
Yes.
When they
Then-
take
then-
that shoe, they'll be like,
Yes.
this is the one.
This is the one, because you're on the winning zone there.
Yes.
Because it's what your brand does best
Best.
to what consumers actually want.
Yeah.
You are not gonna suffer.
Yeah.
Your sales are just going to run through like that.
And you have competitive
You have
edge.
competitive edge.
I love the way you've summarized these
Yes.
competitive forces. Yeah.
That's it. And then
And
there's
in speaking about even the example I gave earlier
Yeah.
about
Yes.
Mukuru money and Western Union.
Yes.
The Western Union still gets money across
Yes.
to you, but Mukuru is mobile money, so they have it at their fingertip. It's a much better fit.
Yes.
So what Mukuru does is meeting the customer's needs more accurately, than
yes.
what Western Union does. But they are both sending money to the client.
Yeah.
So the winning zone is where what you do best is the one
Is
that's
what is
meeting the
needed
need.
by the consumers.
Right.
Very important.
I'm schooled.
Yes. Key market drivers. When there are key market drivers, a market driver is also a force. As much as we've been talking about forces, competitive forces, market trends as force, key market drivers are forces. Because if you don't know, you're in the competitive edge and you're enjoying the competitive edge.
And you don't know what's driving.
And you don't know what's driving the market and the industry.
Yeah.
You're enjoying. Then you will find yourself driving a car without wheels in the middle of the road.
Right.
Because the issue is, if you don't get what drivers are, then the basis of you doing the business would be very blurry.
Even if you are winning,
you
need to know why you are winning.
We need to know
what
why
is
you're
driving
winning.
this winning.
What is the fire behind the fire? Is it a government policy
that is favoring
that
you?
is favoring you? Is it an import, maybe tax, maybe duty, or maybe a rebate?
Right.
Do you understand?
Is it maybe a regulatory
regulatory
leeway?
leeway?
Maybe you are offering tutoring
Is it
services.
promotion of
Right.
that type of service by the government institutions?
Yes.
Is the government promoting that?
And maybe that's what.
For example, like manufacturing products. A lot of African countries do not manufacture within the country. Now, if the government is promoting that and you're getting into that, that's a key driver.
Like we always say about entrepreneurship education.
Yes.
When we come in talking about entrepreneurship education, we know what's already driving that market is unemployment is rampant. So people are already talking entrepreneurship. The governments across Africa are encouraging young people to go into entrepreneurship. So that's already driving the market. We're just riding that wave.
I'll give you another example, the last example. In some of these African countries, I'll give an example like Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya. I'll give an example like Nigeria. Nigeria, online shopping is key.
Right.
Online shopping. Now, if you sell a product and you find your product just getting quickly, sales and getting quick, referrals, and you're just excited about the fact that I'm in Nigeria, I'm in the Nigerian market. Every time when I put my product online,
it goes.
But you don't know the driving key issues.
You don't know that online appetite is the one that's driving that market.
Because 65% of subscribers are doing online shopping in Nigeria. Now,
and that when you compare it to other markets, it's very different.
It's very different. Now, if you want to strive in that space of online shopping, do it in Nigeria. Right. If you're Nigerian right now and you're listening to me, take advantage of this.
Go online. Yeah.
Go online.
And we probably wouldn't say the same thing to somebody else who in their country. Online shopping is not as rampant.
Go online. There are countries right now that in Africa that this online shopping doesn't exist. If there's no driver and you come excited with the same energy. Let's say we are an investor coming from Nigeria. You go into this country, get excited again.
Yeah, if you came to Botswana, for example, we appreciate digital marketing.
Yes.
We do appreciate when somebody's marketing something online. But as soon as you finish marketing it, we're like, can I come and see it? If it's a wig,
physical
can I
one,
see the wig first?
Yeah, can I see it first?
If it's shoes, can I come and fit?
And I'm not going to pay for it.
I'm not paying until I've tried it. So we need to understand these drivers of
the market.
Okay.
Because when you understand the drivers of the market, you can understand if it's driven by the promotion of government, then it will take a long time.
Right.
If it's just something, if it's driven by the internet of doing things, it also will take time, because people are now getting used to doing
the internet of things.
Yeah, the internet of things. People are getting to do online payments, and if you are not going to change your business to so much it's in line with this,
the drivers
of the market,
then you're working against yourself. It's like the trend you were talking about.
Yeah, you're working against yourself.
Right.
So if you know what is the pivotal points or things that are actually pushing this drive
industry forward,
that you are enjoying, enjoy it while it lasts.
Right.
You understand?
It might go off and you don't even know that it went off.
It went off. So those are key market drivers, and then you get to key market constraints. There are constraints. There are things that constrains us to do business.
Right.
For example, if you are in the meat industry, and you want to export, you want to supply meat, the process and logistics of it is cumbersome. One, it has to be tested before you leave. It gets to the border, it's tested. It has to travel in refrigerated trucks.
Right.
Do we have them? Can they travel? Cost, time wasted.
Do we even have the roads for those trucks to travel?
To take it from here to
in
Liberia.
Africa, we have to ask those
For example,
questions.
I would love to take it to Kenya. I would love to take it to Rwanda. I would love to go our country meat and take it to Rwanda. But the logistics of it, I will take it and put it in a plane. Very expensive. Inside the free. When it arrives there, it has to be tested. The processes of testing.
Yes.
It will then be transported into trucks into the retail
So
stores.
the logistics can just be a constraint.
Can be a very serious constraint. And this
regulation also can be
regulation
a constraint.
Can be a
Are
constraint.
you even allowed to transport beef across or meat across
such kind of
borders in that
long distance places? But those are big markets that those markets, the opportunities, they want the product. But the market is constraining.
Right.
For me to go there because of these issues.
Yes, I know. I remember that there was a time that we were being told about how the DRC is open to our meat, both beef and goat meat.
Yeah.
But when we look at the logistical nightmare to try and get the meat from here to there and some other regulatory constraints that stop you from, while that market is big and it's promising, it just becomes an opportunity you can't take because there are market constraints. So one needs to be aware. You were saying political constraints.
Yeah, political instabilities. Political instabilities is where you have your meat or whatever product that you have and you're crossing to that country. Like you're talking about DRC. I'm not going to say anything about it, but you're crossing to such a country.
The political instability could be a barrier.
You find that there is a riot in that space. They take all the meat.
Right.
Who's going to pay for it? So as Africans, as African business entrepreneurs, we should be very careful of this and we should be on the watch all the time.
Yeah. Be aware. This is not to say don't do something.
It. Yes.
Is understand what the constraints are and work out whether there could be strategies to work around it or stop now. Before you waste any money or break your heart in the process.
Yes.
Just find out what the constraints are before you go in.
Although you have understood the constraints, you have understood the key market drivers, you need to understand the dark side of trade. Because the dark side of trade exists in the market.
Okay.
Now you have a triumph over the constraints. Now you're in that market. Let's say you're in that market.
Right.
You have overcome all the challenges.
Yes.
Then you get into the market. You try to get simple license, just a trading license. And you are met with overwhelming corruption.
So this is the dark side.
This is the dark side.
Right.
You are met with overwhelming corruption, and the clients are waiting for your product.
Right.
But you are met with overwhelming corruption.
So
that
what
for you to jump over, you need to do this, and you find that thing is now part of it's the system. It's a system that is meshed into government systems. Wherever you go, you are not going to run away from it. What are you going to do? Are you going to lose
so what you are saying is, you are not saying it is so. You are teaching me that I should be aware of the dark side of trade in any market that I go into. I should inform myself because I could be getting into a market where corruption is rampant, and I should understand that dark side and whether or not I want to go into it.
And it could be that specifically in the market that you want to trade in, all the people that are in there, they went through the same road. Now, when it comes to you, you want to be treated with some level of speciality because you want to keep your integrity and your ethical standards.
Right.
You need to know that you are going to find it very hard. If you have time, don't go in there.
Right.
Because that one you can't fight a system. It's a strong, it's a power. While your customers are waiting for your product.
Right.
Those people are not your customers. They're making it difficult.
They're gatekeepers.
They're gatekeepers. But if you're going to go all these processes and you don't know the dark side of trade in that space, you're in trouble. So understand it before you get into the target market. There are unethical business practices. Some people are just into unethical business practices, doing that maladministration, doing that all the time, and in the selling of products and services within that market, you will find that those unethical business practices are done by big key players,
and it's common,
and they're used to it. So when you come in and you find that there are those unethical business practices, and you want to try to penetrate that, you might find that you don't belong.
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
Even unethical advertising practices. This is where deceptive advertising, deceiving people. You're telling people that, look at your skin, it's
wrinkled, but if you apply this cream,
you're going to be like
a young
person immediately. Your hair will change and be softer in no time, and you will look like someone from Europe. Your health products, more especially health products, I'm going to give you this, is going to stop all your problems.
So what you're teaching me there is, as part of my market intelligence, I need to be very aware of the dark side of whatever industry I'm getting into, and make up my mind what my strategy is going to be, so that if my values, which is what we advocate for, are highly hinged on integrity, and that's part of our brand, be aware of the dark side of the industry you're trying to get into. Don't find yourself also trying to lie to people about whatever cream you're bringing because it's a trend or whatever it is that's happening in that market. Or you blindly go into a particular space not knowing that here people function using corruption. Do you want to play or what? You're not special. Can you back off? So as part of your market intelligence, collect information about what is the dark side of what's happening there.
Definitely. If you don't do that, if you don't collect information about the dark side, you'll find yourself in the middle of a cartel. And the cartel that you can't. It becomes a dangerous thing when you try to get out of that space.
Right.
So it's very important for people to understand the dark side of.
We also had to learn in several ways. This thing that you're talking about. I mean, in my little experience in entrepreneurship, where if your business is being assessed and it's a good business and they see the viability, they pause and say, but who are you? Whose daughter are you? Where are you in the societal levels, in our community? And you're like, I didn't know that you guys can assess my project and see that it's good. Instead of supporting it, you are now turning to who are you? Because these type of businesses or the type of support we're giving is given to the who's of our society. You wake up and find that it's actually like a cartel. When we were running catering, I'll go back to it. Even when we had made our break in corporate, catering. It was mass catering, but for corporates. You'd still get a procurement officer calling you to say, we're supposed to renew your contract. We know we give you about 100,000 per year, but I'm not going to sign this because I have school fees for my children. Are you going to give me something? We have received calls like that, where we sit and we're like, can you imagine? This procurement officer is telling us that if you don't help pay for my child's school fees, I will not be renewing the contract. And we've had to cut ties. And having interviewed other entrepreneurs across the continent, they've had their own fair share of that. Yeah. That doesn't mean don't go in and work in a particular space, but is to say be aware of what's going on in your market and be clear about what your values will be. If all this darkness is happening and you can't go about it and stay profitable, then don't go in the first place.
Yeah, because you can't operate in uncertainties. You can't operate in fear.
Right.
You can't do business in fear, knowing that if you don't do something, that thing you're
I'm very happy that you have brought this into the discussion.
Yeah, you're not going to exist. So
it's part of marketing.
So you see, you know all the now you'll be you know everything as an entrepreneur. Market fit, market size, market opportunity. You're so excited. I'm going to do this. I've got all the information. You don't have another information. You don't know the dark side of it.
Yeah.
That people in control of the economy.
Right. And you might just get the shock of your life.
The shock of your life. So it's very important for someone to understand this.
The dark side of trade.
The dark side of trade.
Even earlier when we were talking about understanding competitive forces and collecting market intelligence around competition, I wanted to talk about industrial espionage and just maybe warn our entrepreneurs to say, even as you collect intel about your competitors, make sure that you're collecting information that's already out there, information that you're getting legally about your competitors, you're getting even ethically about your competitors. We don't want anybody involved in industrial espionage where you pay people to go and get information about your competitors. You pay the employees of your competitors to bring information to you. That is industrial espionage. It's dark. We don't want any of our entrepreneurs involved in that. There are ways to understand. You can study their adverts. You can study when they're advertising their product or who they're hiring. You're like, oh, why are they hiring such and such? Maybe they've introduced a wing of this nature in their company. Or a department of the. So there's a way to collect your information about the competition without engaging in industrial espionage. I thought I should just put that out.
No, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
It's one of the dark side of doing things.
Yes.
Now, when you get to the concept of consumer behavior, you understood now the dark side of things. Now you're going to understand your the behavior of your clients.
Yeah, that's part of marketing.
That's part of marketing tail. If you don't know the behavior, you might find yourself in real problem, especially when it comes to advertising. Advertising. I'll give an example. We do know that high income earners, it's the common knowledge that people, the ladies, especially ladies.
Yes,
it's the segments, the gender biased product. They will say, okay, fine, I want to buy a Louis Vuitton bag. So okay, Louis Vuitton bag. Everybody in Africa, a lot of people. This product has penetrated the market of high income earners. Yes, that's the class. Right. Now the lifestyle of those people, they go to very expensive hotels. They go to high end expensive restaurants. They go to high end hospitals that in that space. Now, if you are marketing and you're advertising to these people, you need to take this, you need to use marketing channels that are able to go into those places.
So basically I should understand my consumer behavior. The consumer that I'm targeting, how do they behave? What lifestyle do they subscribe to?
They will go to golf. Can you go to golf? Can you be part of the golf whether it's a club or what? Can you be part of that? Can you be part of their tourism associations? Can you be part of some women elite groups? Right. Can you be part of those sort of groups? How do you take the message there? You understand? This is a package.
So that's if you are targeting high-end consumers.
Consumers. Now, if you are to target, let's say for example, children, kids.
How do they behave?
I'll tell you what. There's this brand of kids. I will say the brand of kids. I don't know. I'm just associating it and calling it as that because every child now wants to have that type of a bag when they go to school.
Okay.
What do you call this this product? The one that you fine. Anyway, it's cartoon
based.
Cartoon based. My son wanted the cap. He wanted the pencils. Now we are talking products.
Whew.
He wanted the cap. He wanted the pencils. He wanted now a swimming coat. Now he wanted
all modeled around this cartoon.
Modeled around this cartoon. Now all these products, if you're going to be selling all children's products, you should make sure that you include this brand in there. That's a behavior. You understand?
So when they get into a cartoon and they love it, they want it everywhere.
Yes, they will tell you, Papa, I cannot do without Spider-Man. That's the cartoon. I cannot do without Spider-Man. What I saw my friend was having a Spider-Man bag. Can you buy for me? You go buy the Spider-Man bag. Tomorrow you're going to buy Spider-Man cap. You're going to buy Spider-Man blankets.
Yes.
They are there
yes.
now. Where's part
Spider-Man
of it?
swimming costume.
You won't
Spider-Man
believe it.
everything.
It has even penetrated the funeral palace.
Funeral palace?
I'm telling you.
Children buried.
Because they were watching all these things. Now their parents are so hurt. They associate these cartoons with death.
Right.
Now they paint these coffins with these cartoons, with Spider-Man cartoons.
So you're saying just understand your consumer behavior.
You see, this is the behavior of the consumers.
It will inform you on what you need to do as an entrepreneur.
Now, as an entrepreneur, if you are going to the funeral parlor space, you need to know that children are in love with Spider-Man. So the moment a child dies and they come to you, you put a Spider-Man coffin. The parents will
You'll be shocked that it sells.
You'll be shocked. It sells.
Sure.
What is it? This is simply a behavior.
It's marketing tail.
It's marketing tail. It's a behavior. You have to understand, even culturally, you need to understand people's cultures.
Yeah.
You're not going to come and advertise meat to Rastafarians. If you do that, you're going to feel they eat organic produce.
Right.
But you are carrying meat and you are selling to them. They will ignore you because their cultural background doesn't allow that.
Yeah. Even superstitions.
Yeah, even superstitions.
We are in Africa, by the way.
We are in Africa, by the way. Yes.
Understand what superstitious beliefs people have about that kind of thing, because that may be the reason your product might not sell.
You need to understand the behavior
of your people, their preferences, their fears, their everything about them.
Consumer behavior can make so many shifts, perception, attitude. You can actually manipulate and make some shifts within people's minds about your product. You can position in such that in retail stores, such that it's visible, it's convenient.
The way they put sweets on the way to the till, even if you resisted at the beginning of the aisle, just pick it. By the time you get to the end, you will have picked a few sweets. Even when you go with the child, by the time you get to
they'll
the
pick
till,
it for you. They'll show you. They'll pick it for you. You'll pay for
so they've seen our behavior that with sweets, you don't even need to put it in the budget. You pick it on the way to the.
Definitely.
Even religious beliefs. I was thinking about something that one. I would say mentor of ours is an experienced entrepreneur who shared with us recently about pork. We were talking about going into the piggery business in Southern Africa, and you were saying pork is not a cheap product. It's a far higher price when you compare to the normal chicken and beef that the Southern African market is used to. And you were saying, who are the people with the type of disposable income that can buy pork? The rich, wealthy people. We are calling a thing. You were saying the people with that level of disposable income who can afford to buy pork on a frequent basis, unfortunately also happen to be Muslim. So if they are Muslims, they don't eat pork. So he was just putting it blatantly for us to understand there is an opportunity in piggery, in the piggery business. You can sell pork in Southern Africa, but also get the intel. There are religious beliefs that can stop the people who have the money to buy from buying your product.
Yes.
So we thought, whoa, that's some marketing intel. I would never, even if I had observed it, I probably would have not called a thing a thing. I would have not admitted to myself that the people who can afford this pork on an ongoing basis in this market happen to also be Muslim. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to establish that and make a plan.
And with that, it brings us to remind you of
Yes.
the benefits of market intelligence.
Okay.
The benefits of what are the benefits of doing all these things: consumer behavior, key constraints, market fit, all these things. What are the benefits associated with that? For brand positioning, you want to position the product into the consumer's mind and find a marketplace,
Right.
so that you can so that your end users can associate your product with the feel. Very important.
Yeah.
Customer, you need to retain your customers that you lost.
Yeah.
If you lost some customers after doing the market intelligence, you will easily get them back.
Ah, I see.
If you want to segment your market and segment it properly and accurately,
Yeah.
market segmentation, you'll do it more efficiently.
If you have intel.
If you have got intel, you can be in control of your competitors' moves
Right.
and market trends.
Yes.
You can anticipate, you can make effective changes within your space internally.
Yeah.
And go out very strong, because what you have got the market intel, market penetration. You want to penetrate a new market.
Yeah.
You're not afraid because you know everything. You even understand the dark side of things.
Yeah.
You have the intel. You see?
You were telling me that when you meet your, I guess I'm free to say,
Yes.
Clients who are based in Africa but they are of the Indian heritage,
Yes.
you find in a group of 4 business partners, one knows about the regulations of the country, the policy, the government policy. One is talking about the consumers and their behavior, their preferences,
Yes,
their
yes,
beliefs.
yes, yes.
One is talking about the suppliers, where we can get the supplies and the logistics and whatnot. And the other is talking about, you're like, whoa.
Yes.
We should learn from our colleagues in that way.
Yes.
We shouldn't be thinking,
Yes,
they're Indian and that. Maybe
Yes.
they've benefited from being
Yes.
raised by
Yes,
entrepreneurial
yes,
parents.
Yes, Africans, as Africans, we have to become the real entrepreneurs.
Right.
We have to form our corporations. We have to form associations where we can meet, whether small entrepreneurs, whether medium, meet and have and share this expertise.
Yeah.
If I'm an expert in this field,
Yeah.
let's come together so that we understand the market intel properly.
Yes.
And get facts.
That's the community we're trying to build,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
That's why
yeah.
we even have you
Yeah.
in the studio, is to try
Yes.
and say, you deal with entrepreneurs all the time, you deal with market
Yeah.
intel all the time. Come and share with us so we
Yes.
can learn from each other.
Yes. New product development. You can't
Okay.
develop a product without market intel. What are you developing? Where are you taking the product to? What are you developing for what?
Who are your suppliers?
Who are your suppliers?
How consistent
how
can
consistent
they be?
Can they be? What are the features of this product? What are you trying to enhance? Is your enhancement in line with
the needs?
with the needs of the customers? Do they want it really? Or
Or
you
you're
just
enhancing
doing
for the sake of enhancing, so you
for the sake
feel
of
good.
enhancing? You feel good about it. You will enhance it, then they will reject it.
Right.
You will enhance it, they will tell you, you know what, we want the old stuff.
Yes.
That's it. And you will spend a lot of money in new product development.
Right.
You can be able to forecast, do financial forecasting, do sales forecasting.
Accurate forecast.
Accurate forecast. Even expansion. You can know that I can expand geographically to this place because of your market intel.
Right.
So those are some of the benefits
Benefits.
associated with you getting the market intel.
Thank you.
Now, when you get into the marketing intelligence tools, there are tools that I used. There are quite many of them out there in the market. One may choose online survey findings. Once you start, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to believe that tomorrow, after listening to me, you're going to do something. And I want to believe that when you start this, you're going to start doing some online survey, maybe consumer perception survey.
Yes.
Just understand your market. You have a business, you have clients, and you're offering services. You have got pool of personnel that are offering those services to those people.
Right.
You want to know what's the feedback from those people. That's the cream. That's where you need to know. If you don't know what is inside their minds, you will never know where your business is heading. You understand? So you can do online surveys and get findings and find out and do analysis and find, 40% of these people appreciate my product, but 60% are saying they can actually use another product. What am I doing?
Right.
Can I do something right? Can I change this and that?
So we can't afford to be lazy about
No,
this.
you can't be lazy about information seeking.
Yes.
If need be, do product testing. You understand?
Yeah.
Because those are the results, you're going to use it. Do product testing and accredit the product if need be, or the service if need be, for you to have the capacity to get into to start your project. Do competitive analytics softwares. You know that the software right now we're in internet doing things these days. where you can get information from LinkedIn, from Instagram, from Facebook, from all this social media in one document, and then you can be able to know the behavior of your customers. You can be able,
the movements of your competitors.
When you put a post, what happens?
Right.
And when your competitors put in this, what happens? What popularity? Are they more popular than me?
What's
in the market
trending?
space?
What's
trending?
not?
You see, using artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir.
Use it. Don't start wasting your time.
Right.
It is the right time now to use it.
It's a tool.
It's a tool. High-tech companies are leading in artificial intelligence. They will be far ahead from us, and they will start. We will start importing because we were just used to it as Africans.
Hey.
Let's not do that. Let's learn it now.
It's high time.
It's
people.
high time.
High time.
We learn, and high time we associate ourselves with everything that is happening. We have to be an informed Africa. If you are in your own home country, be informed, fully informed about all these concepts that I'm talking about.
And you're dishing these tools,
Yes,
and
yes.
my partner and I have said to ourselves, we need to wake up.
Yes.
Most of the people who are going into entrepreneurship, even those who are watching, are educated, they're smart Africans.
They're learned.
But if you asked any one of us, have you run a survey?
No.
And I know about surveys, but I won't run a survey. I'm going to introduce a product or a service and I haven't run a survey. My partner and I were like, AV, let's come up with a few questions and run a survey.
Yes.
There are people who are even paying
Yes.
$2, $1. Can you take this survey for us? You get $5.
Yes.
Because to them it's that important to get information.
Yeah.
So we are sitting, we won't sit down and design a little questionnaire and put it in a survey and let people give us information, give us intel. So we can't afford to be lazy, my colleagues. Let's try.
Yes.
Honestly, let's try.
Let's try.
Let's not just know and listen to this and it sounds good. We've seen the tools that are listed on the screen. Guys, let's get out and try at least one. We have done focus groups as well. We would sit with young entrepreneurs and we'd get topics and we'd just get some intel about where they are. For us, because it's important in entrepreneurship education, we sit with focus groups like that. So when we were discussing the survey recently, we're like, let's fill out a few questions, put them on Survey Monkey and run a survey. Let's not know these things and then not do. So I'm rebuked because I know you run surveys, you do market intel for many entrepreneurs. They pay you because we are lazy, but if you have the money, at least some of them pay you. But you are encouraging us to get on with it, to do it.
Yes.
Let's get doing.
Yes. Africans, my colleagues, my friends, my brothers and sisters. At the end of it all, you need to understand the tools that you're going to use to get this information.
Yes.
And kindly try to use all this concept. Try to learn about this concept, these concepts. At the end of it all, you might just listen to me and say, oh, I heard some guy talking about market size, and then you ignore it.
Yeah.
If you're in business and you're an entrepreneur and you want to be successful, please try now, start now, do it now. Let's change as Africans.
Yes.
Let's own our businesses.
Yes.
Let's not want people that are coming from outside to come and do work for us.
Right.
Let's do it now. The productive Africa that we are going to make will change the future of Africa.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I absolutely enjoyed this. Let's be embarrassed when we're not doing the things that we know to do.
Yes.
Here we are doing our little part and we are counting on our entrepreneurs to also pick up the slack and get doing. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you so much.
Isaac.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
We had fun. We learned so much.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I think
Wonderful.
what you closed with is actually our to-do. And you know how we never close without giving ourselves an assignment on what it is we must go and do. It's market intel, people. This time I don't need to be very specific. Mr. Kosiering has given us from beginning to end all these concepts of market intelligence. Guys, let us go out there and start collecting intel. They are different concepts, different areas. Get doing. There's no other assignment. Let's get out there, let's get doing. I'm looking forward to trialing most of what I've been learning. That's the challenge we give ourselves in our businesses every day, to say, guys, of all that we know to do, how much of it are we actually doing? Don't assume that because you've listened to this, you're like, yeah, powerful, it was very powerful, very informative. No, go and do. That is our challenge. Thank you very much for joining us.
Now, let's go and do.